What's going on, boys? It's your boy J Bro, man. Res Bro. Mr. Young Resi, not because I was young, but because I was growing up in front of your eyes. Macro Columbus, man. Macro over micro. Pleb life. Entities. Today we got a good one, guys. Shout out to Dan. You know, I was in my Discord and Dan had said, hey, man, we need a video. So, you know, I figured I had a good day, man. I had a good day. I got a haircut, as you can see. You know, I had a workout. I did some work. Work's been really busy, guys. But, you know, I'm going on this drive. And I figured let's have a chat, man. Bjergsen quit today. Well, he didn't quit. He retired. He pulled the J-Bro. He pulled the J-Bro on him. If you guys don't remember on TCS, I said I was done at the end of TCS. I got nothing else to give, guys. You know, I'm still here. Still doing these videos. But for the most part, I felt like I gave what I had to give. And today, Bjergsen came out, you know, someone that holds NA down. He's like the rock of NA. You know, he's a European player. Most of you know Bjergsen, but if you don't know, he's a stud from Europe. Been here for a while on TSM. He's a good guy, man. And he announced today, he's like, hey, you know what? I'm done playing. I'm going to retire. That's it. That's it for me. And, you know, everyone kind of been tweeting about it, been talking about it. So let's get into it, man. My first reaction when I see it this morning, I couldn't really believe it, man. My first reaction was, what a pussy dude. Fucking pussy. Cheater. You know, I'm a firm believer. My first initial reaction when I seen that was what I thought of. And the reason I thought of that was because I'm a firm believer, if you got it, use it. Now, what I mean by that is if you got the skills, man, if you got it, if you got the talent, if you got the package, take advantage of that package. And if you can play, then play. It's like LeBron James mentality, man. He's going and he takes care of his health, he takes care of his mental, and he just, you know, he's locked in and he plays a super important role on the team. And he just wants to play for as long as he can play for and give to the game how much you could give. And I'm a firm believer of that. I did say, you know, in my situation, I'm done. I got nothing else to give, but I still give because I feel like I have so much more to give. So even though I don't give the way I did, I don't play the way I did, I'm still around, you know. That was my initial reaction because I've seen so many pros kind of go down that path. Like you've seen it with Sneaky, for example. Like someone who's been to Worlds 6 times, someone who made it to semis, you know, had a lot of NA success. The fans love him, you know. And he kind of just packed it up, man. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And he packed up and he plays dress up now. And, you know, all power to him. But then I thought about it more, man. And I read that, like I watched a video. And in the video he's saying, I want to coach. You know, I want to coach. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to focus on. And he wants to go to coaching route, which is respectable, you know. I went to Double Lift's stream after, and Double Lift was talking about he's always reading these coaching books and these leadership books, and that's the route he wants to take, and he thinks he could give a lot. Now, respect to him, man. He's his own man. He can make his own decisions. It doesn't matter if he's fully capable of playing more. This is what I see. The first thing I see is that he was tired of losing. He was just tired of losing. And I know you guys play League, and I bet you a bunch of you guys might be athletes who played some specific sports. When you really want to win, there's a difference between losing and losing when you really, really, really want to win. You know what I mean? When you're itching for that win and you take that fat ass L, man, it stings you. And I compare this to sports, man. Like, there's certain losses that will stay with you because all you wanted to do was win. You envisioned that shit and you felt like you did everything right and you still lost. And you got to live with those results. I'll compare it to fighting. In fighting, when you have an undefeated fighter and he loses, sometimes they take time off. Like, you could look at what's his name? He fought today. He fought Jared Cannonier. Whitaker is this 185-pound fighter. He fights. He was like the champ for a while. He lost a few times, and then he took like some time off. Same with Brian Ortega. These are two fighters that, you know what I mean. They won. They were looking good. They lost. They took some time off. They had to process that loss, like, because that shit will throw you off. Now I think with Bjergsen, he lost way more times than he wanted to. I think that's the story of his career. He really wanted to win. He felt like he took the right steps, but he just lost. He lost. They made changes. He was obviously involved. We don't know the full story. You know, he's part owner, as they said, so he definitely had a lot of you know what I mean, influence on the organization, the players that he's picking, all that good shit. But they just kept losing, man. They kept losing, and they didn't just lose. It's okay to lose. It's okay to lose when you're making progress. It's really bad to lose when you're actually going backwards, because then because every time you lose, you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, I gotta go back to the drawing board. Now, if you're going back to the drawing board and you're getting even worse, then you gotta really reconsider this shit. That's number one. He definitely lost. What happens when you lose so much? You begin to get self-doubt. You begin to doubt yourself. You be like, damn, really? Like, maybe I'm not the person that I thought I was. And I could talk about myself in this. You know, in one of my old videos, I thought, you know, I feel like when I come and I'm showing up, I feel like my energy is up here. I feel like I'm ready to go. I feel excited. And I don't think anyone's fucking with me if I'm on my shit. But, you know, when you're not getting to certain places, or you're not getting certain milestones that you expect to get, you start to be like, damn, dog, like, your confidence starts to get, like, smashed, you know? I remember when I told you guys about Ica. If you don't know Ica, he's this Immortals pro that he was barely even a pro. Like, they were talking about getting rid of him, and everybody was making fun of him and, like, talking about how he's so trash, and I felt bad for him in a way. So I was like, hey, man, like, I don't like how people are talking about you. Let's do an interview. You know what I mean? Let's do a 2-minute chat. He said he didn't even answer me. You know what I mean? I wanted to post it on my Twitter. I thought it would be pretty cool to, like, kind of switch the narrative. And that shit really hurt my ego, because I'm like, dude, if I'm getting, like, left on red by someone who is losing their career, and I get it, they're in a bad spot, but they can't even answer me and be like, hey, man, good looks, but I don't want to do that. It'll kind of hurt your confidence, and it'll make you reassess. And I think that happened to Bjergsen constantly, to the point where, you know, it doesn't matter who you are. If you feel like you're doing everything right and you're still losing, you know what I mean? You start to question yourself. You start to question everything you're doing. And trust me, guys, when you have that spotlight like Bjergsen, you know, you might not be influenced too heavily by comments, but you're reading them. You're taking note of them. And you read what people are saying. And if everyone's talking shit and saying you're washed up, man, that stuff will get to you. It doesn't matter who you are. That's number two. When I was at Double Lift Stream, one thing I really didn't like was he said something along the lines of, Bjergsen, when Bjergsen first said he wanted to coach, I was like, fuck it, then I might as well go coach too, and I'll coach a different team, because having me and Bjergsen has an ego, and if I'm on his team, and he's the coach, I don't really know how that's just gonna go. Bjergsen, I really, really didn't like that, dude. I don't know if it's like certain aspect of like social, you know, I can't talk about what to say and what not to say. I say a lot of edgy shit. I say a lot of dumb shit for the wow factor or whatever. But, you know, if that's your teammate and that's your brother, I think there's certain things that you shouldn't just talk about. You shouldn't tell us that Bjergsen has an ego. Like, he's his own man. He picked his path. You're his teammate. You're supposed to be his brother. You guys played for a while together. Like, don't leak that type of shit. And then especially when you say, oh, I thought I was going to go coach another, I might as well go coach another team. That was my thought. But I'm actually on TSM, guys, and I'm going to continue to play. That just shows me that the team culture is not always there. Like, if you're already thinking about, well, he's going to be the coach, so fuck yeah, I might rethink my whole career. It feels like, you know, you lost already. You know what I mean? And when the ship goes off so many times, it's hard to get it back on track. And that's what I feel like happened with TSM and Bjergsen and the whole situation. The ship went off track so many times that they tried to get the ship back and they weren't able to. And that shit will influence the team culture. Everyone starts to show up. Like, I like Biofrost, man, but he is ass. And that's not like no disrespect. He's ass because he has no like killer instinct. He's not very aggressive. He doesn't do a lot of the heavy lifting on the team in terms of like he needs to step out of his comfort zone, man. I get it. Some people aren't, you know, with it. But if you keep getting brought back, man, you have to change something. That's the whole point. I'm not insulting Biofrost. I like Biofrost. I'm sure he's a great guy. But if they keep bringing you back to the team multiple times, you got to change something. And it can't just be gameplay, bro. Like, Bjergsen does a lot more than just gameplay. What I mean by that is he's a good person. Like, you watch the growth, you watch the story, you watch how he carries himself. A big reason why I do these kind of videos is because I don't want people to only think of me and the yelling and the screaming and all that shit. I want to show another side. Bjergsen is a professional. He doesn't do a lot of the dumb shit. He lets his gameplay speak for himself, but he's also willing to do the media and all that and all that extra shit, and she'll still show you that professional side. And it sets a good standard for people who aspire to be gamers or whatever, how they should be carrying themselves, how they should be acting, and all that. So that's the perspective I started to see. I was like, you know what, man? a lot of times I'm explaining things about myself, so I'm sure there's things that we don't know about Bjergsen. And the reason I did that, guys, and this is like a random story, and I'm about to go on a tangent, but fuck it. I was at the barber shop today, and to get my hair cut, and while the barber was cutting my hair, I had my mask on, and he fucking cut my ear while he was doing it. And I felt something, but I was like, whatever, man, maybe it's just a scratch. All of a sudden, dude, my ear starts fucking bleeding. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And then he's like wiping out, oh shit, sorry, brother. Forgot to cut your hair. Baba. I was cutting it, didn't see it. He's putting shit on it. He's trying to put alcohol. He's trying to clean it up. And I was like so fucking mad, man. I was going to like let this guy finish the haircut. And I was going to be like, fuck you, I'm not paying anything and whatever. After I got my ear cut, not a haircut, I got an ear cut. I noticed he was like super on his shit after that. He was like, fuck, man, this is kind of an embarrassing situation. Before he cut my ear, he was just talking to me about how they've been open for 30 years and they just closed down for 4 months because of COVID. And if they get another close, it's going to fuck them up. And then he cut my ear and I was so fucking mad in that moment. But then after he made that mistake, I could tell he made so many adjustments, man. Like he's like taking off the mask instead of trying to cut around it. He like apologized. I could really tell he was an older fellow, but he opened his eyes up. You know what I mean? Like I saw like this, like he's cutting my hair like this. You know, so I was like respect. You know, and I felt like he gave it additional time, right? Even though there were people waiting, and we had a good chat after, man, and I wasn't so mad about my ear getting cut. Mistakes happen, and I gave him a good tip, man, because he seemed like a good guy, and he seemed like a genuine guy, and he seemed like an honest guy. The reason I said that is because that's kind of what happens when you think about something from another person's perspective, right? The guy's like, he was telling me like, I can't even build momentum with haircuts because I've been out of the game so long for 4 months. Like I've been cutting hair for 30 years and now we were sitting home for 4 months and business is so slow. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important to look at it from the other side, man. And that's what I was trying to do with the Bjergsen situation, because I had even tweeted, like when Dominique tweeted this morning, Bjergsen is the GOAT, and a lot of people were saying this is GOAT. I was like, fuck that, he's GOAT cheese. He ain't a GOAT of shit. How does the GOAT get soul killed level 3? You know what I mean? By on the best champion, on his best champion, you know. That's kind of it for that scenario. But something else happened today that was really cool, and it kind of relates to this situation. It's actually really cool. Khabib Nurmagomedov, UFC fighter, 29-0, 28-0. He fought another fight, 29-0, and he put up the gloves. He said, I'm done, I'm retired, I got nothing else to give to the sport. He's in his prime, he's young, he's a monster, smashes everybody. You know, it's not just close. Like, this guy's never lost. He's barely lost a round. I think he's lost 1 round in 30 pro fights. And his dad passed away for COVID before this last fight. And even though he's in his prime and he can still make so much more money, he's like, you know what? I talked to my mom and I only have one parent left now. And my mom told me, no more fights without your dad. And she didn't even want me to fight this one. So I have to respect my mother's wishes and I'm done. And he had this like great speech after. I recommend you guys watch it. It was pretty cool. He was talking about how like you have to, you know, value your parents and let go of the petty shit. If there is some petty shit and like understand that there might come a day where, you know what I mean, life is, you don't know what's in store for life. And that was the message he was trying to share. And the cool thing about this guy, man, is he has a cool personality and he shows off his personality. I wish more people would kind of like show off their personality more. But he's business. He's very humble. He's humble in defeat. Sorry, not defeat, victory, because he's never lost. He carries himself super well, man, and he was just good for the sport. And I watched so many videos of this guy, and it was kind of like inspiring in a way. He was like back home training a lot of like the Dagestani people. They're from Russia, and he was telling them like, guys, take this serious. Like, this is something that, you know, you could come to USA. You have to pick. He was pretty much telling them you have to pick. Like, you guys don't show up for practice. You guys have to have some discipline in your life. You know what I mean? He's being a great role model, and he's like. And, you know, everyone has different beliefs, guys. But he was talking about, he's like, I believe in the afterlife. So he's like, I try to do good things so the afterlife is good to me and I can try to help people. And I respected that a lot. And I, you know, I'm sure he'll still be in the sport, like similar to Bjergsen. Bjergsen saying, you know, I'm away from the sport, but I'm still going to be a coach and I'll still be involved and I still plan to play. And I'm sure, like, that guy Khabib, he's also, you know, going to be in the sport too. But sometimes, man, like, people got to make their own decisions, go out regardless of the situation, regardless of, you know what I mean, how other people feel. I hear it all the time, like, yo, you should stream, you should stream, you should stream. But I don't feel like streaming, so I don't stream. Sometimes it's good to go out on your shield, give it your best effort, and sometimes it's just good to call it even when things are going well, right? It's not necessarily quitter's mentality. Sometimes you feel like you gave what you can give, and it's up to like the next people to come in to carry that. The thing with the whole Bjergsen situation is when he steps into a coach, it might be really good for the scene in terms of he could set a standard to what a coach should be, because a lot of these coaches they're trolls, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like TSM's coach, like I was thinking, like if your coach is so bad and you want to coach and you feel like you could do such a great job, why didn't you guys ever switch the coach? It's been like the same coach for the fucking last 6 years. And you know why you can't trust the coach, TSM's coach? On the Leaguepedia, which was like the Wikipedia of League, his name is Parth Naidu, but they put his name like Parth and then in brackets Parth Naidu. Like, whose fucking nickname is their first name? That's like me saying Rezi Pleb Life. You don't do that shit. You can't trust a guy like that. That's like saying James Johnson. No. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's why Bjergsen's taking this spot, man, because this coach cannot be fucking trusted. You know what I mean? Respect to India. Shout out to India. Give that motherfucker a mango chutney and tell him to sit his ass down. He's been fucking up for 6 years. Change is good, man, but I feel like we don't really have the people right now, so it might be good in like the long term when you see like how he molds the next TSM and other people start to watch and other people start to do it. But you really, it's hard to say something bad about that guy, man. He's been good to the sport, and both of those guys that I mentioned were good to the sport, and I think it's something interesting to take away. That's all I got to say, man. That's it for this video, man. You know, I've been trying to stay offline a little bit, focus on myself. It's good to protect your peace, guys. Protect your peace. Try to stay fit in any way. Doesn't matter what you do. Go for walks, exercise. We're in for a cold winter, so take care of that shit. For me, at least, I plan on doing a Twitter video next week. It's gonna kind of talk about some of the stuff I talked about, mixed in with some other stuff. Obviously, it's not gonna be this way, but it is what it is. Just thought I'd share some thoughts about that. I am moving soon, so I'm moving out. Maybe I'll do a different video about that. In terms of streaming, I plan on being back next year. I'm excited to stream. I've been making a lot of good changes. I'm really excited about those changes. And next year, my plan is to take League, fairly seriously, man. I want to test myself. I want to test my skills. I want to test my new... I want to test these changes and these adaptations that I've been making, and I'm excited. We're still going to do content. We're going to still laugh, troll, do all that. But at the same time, I plan on being a little less vocal and let my play do the talking. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you got something else you want me to talk about, put it in the comments. If you got this far in the video, salute. Those are the real ones. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Rosie_LOL, and I'll see you guys on the flip side, Holmes. Peace. Damn. Yo, what you guys think about my haircut, though? Like, rate that shit. 1 to 10. What do you guys think? Respect? Should I make sure I do it every few months? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. 1 to 10. Let me know. Peace.